Altair of the Dowager Praxis, seekers and speakers of the truth. Each statue in this holy place tells a story. If you would understand the sacred rites of the seamstress and the powers she is willing to... Seamstress. I'm sorry, I'm a Discworld fan. And the powers of the seamstress and the powers she's willing to bestow upon her humble possessors of her divine pins. Enter. Wait, you have to be humble to use these class pin things? That may be a problem for some people I know. I'm thinking of a specific person. I'm humble. I've mastered the elder art of braggadocio humility. A form of humility so subtle and advanced that bragging about my humility actually increases it. I just meant you have to own a class pin in order to use it. Sorry. I was trying to maintain a proper, sort of ruined temple atmosphere. Yes, thank you. It was great. Gabriel nods and tries his energy. Totally. It cranked up the ambience for reals. Explore the Altair to learn about the various classes you can gain and use in your quest. When done here, head back to the detective agency. It'll be fun. Yay! It sounds like a stopping point to me, if I haven't already done it. Tube Samurai. When the seamstress was still young, a wandering samurai visited a village. Inspired by his supreme mastery himself and intrigued by the cylinder to his side, the seamstress set on a journey of enlightenment. She climbed tall mountains, understood the pressure of pounding waterfalls. She listened to both the young and old, and then, when her journey was done and enlightenment had been achieved, the pin of the Tube Samurai appeared on her robe. I thought she turned me. Followers of the Tube Samurai practice a highly disciplined form of physical combat. Through the use of various stances, they can boost capabilities. Great care should be taken in choosing the best stance for each situation. Alright, people might want to skip this part. Statue of a Crabomancer. The origin of the Crabomancer pin is quite simple, for you see, the seamstress cared more for power than she did for seafood. Wielders of the Crabomancer pin value defense over all else. In fact, they can even leverage their mighty defense as a weapon. Try and wrap your head around that. The statue retreats into smug silence. Statue of a Gentleman. A piece of advice. If you see a seamstress of the Dowager Praxis and you try to open the door for her, and then she says that she's got it, she's kind of a sorceress or whatever, so doors aren't even a big deal, but you just stand there holding the door open in a sort of smug way, and you make her repeat yourself, you should really start running, or she's probably going to turn you into a pin. Right out of breath with laughing. The chivalrous pin has its uses, though. Wearers find themselves inexplicably concerned with the well-being of others. That concern can manifest itself in a number of ways, from healing and assisting their allies, to ridding the world of evil with as well smack the cane. Cordwainer. I was given to understand my shoes would be ready by noon today. The Cordwainer pin bestows much more than the ability to craft artisan shoes. Practitioners gain incredible speed, the ability to interrupt and slow enemies, plus shocking, deeply inhumane shoe-based attacks. You mean there aren't shoe aliens? Statue of Slacker. The Slacker pin began its life as the seamstress' son, Josh. Yikes. Year after year, she urged the Slacker to follow in her footsteps, or any footsteps at all, really, or do anything. Year after year, he refused as he wallowed in his own self-indulgent idleness. Finally, in a fit of rage, the seamstress declared, "Blood or no, the enemy of industry is my enemy as well," as she wove her arts, morphing the young boy of 34 into another pin. She regretted it instantly, of course, but it was a great-looking pin, which really took the edge off. She felt that peace of mind which only comes after a difficult decision has been faced head-on and wisely dealt with. The Slacker is one of the less practical pins forged by the seamstress, yet not devoid of use. The Dowager Praxis frequently call upon its laid-back vibe for relief when the stress of life becomes unbearable. The seamstress once remarked that her son was full of hidden potential, but it is thought that this was merely an expression of motherly affection and not grounded in reality. Statue of Elminster. The story of Elminster and its associated saga is far too complex and involved to tell within these walls. For the full tale, please read the epic legends of the hierarchs. The Elminster saga volumes -3 through volume Rainbow 25 part 7. Short version, Elminstors dominate the elements, and then they dominate other people with the elements. They just dominate it. So if you like to burn, crush, drench, and whatever you do with air, this is your pin. And last but not least, the humble hobo. I can tell because of the sign. One day, while overseeing construction of the Altier, the Dowager Praxis, the seamstress saw the hobo and took pity, offering him a gift of a few coins. The next day, the hobo returned at the head of a hobo flock like some kind of bedraggled street priest. The seamstress asked if the gathered throng would like to see a magic trick, and when they said yes, she transformed their hobo pup into a rustic pin. This seemed to satisfy their appetite for tricks. Use of the hobo pin is frowned on by the Dowager Praxis, but those who can endure its unique character will find a strong brawler unbound by normal rules of engagement. Among the hobos, many fear Tigny's ability to inflict hoboism, a wasting disease that devours enemies bit by bit. Ooh, hobo. This one's broken, I guess. Alright, do we want to go up the stairs? I guess so. Going up the stairs? I ain't going down the stairs. Are these pins I don't have yet? How did you get up here so fast? I ran all the way up the stairs. The maiden shrugs. I was waiting to track at Shrine College. Statue of an Apocalypse. The Apocalypse faced the seamstress, but he knew he could not win, for he'd seen his future as a cute and stylish pin. The Apocalypse is the perfect pin for patient practitioners and proponents of powerful potentialities. Stack prophecy upon prophecy, and when the day of judgment finally arrives, your enemies will fall, and you will have been right all along. The statue coughs nervously. Broken statue. I guess I don't have these pins yet, but still. If you fool yourself, you can fool anyone, the seamstress. By now you may have heard many tales of her vanquished foes, but there was one opponent more wily and intractable than any other, the seamstress herself. Her power of shaping and her deep enthusiasm for its use collected fractured identities in a persona which called itself the Delusionist. Eventually got sick of that, focused for a moment, and expelled it in pin form. Removing the pin from her mouth, she fixed it to a new scarf that she just got. The abilities bestowed by this pin may seem foolish, but the truly wise can come to understand the powers of self-delusion. Okay. I now have the Pinky and the Brain theme stuck in my head, and I don't know why. When sojourning into the lands beyond the Praxian Mountains, the seamstress found herself set upon by the Dino Sorcerer. Last member of an ancient primal people, the Dino Sorcerer used long-forgotten saurian tongue to change into terrifying Lizoids, long extinct. Unfazed by the immense strength and size of the transformed assailant, the seamstress realized that the Dino Sorcerer's power came at a cost, complete lack of control. Thus armed, the seamstress anticipated the Dino Sorcerer's every move and secured victory over her opponent. Wielders of the Dino Sorcerer pin have been seen to change into one of three forms: Triceratops, Velociraptor, or the mighty T-Rex. In hushed tones, there are those who say an even more terrible form exists, although none have survived an encounter with the first three. Hiccups. Hiccups, curse of hiccups. Statue of the Diva. The seamstress hated the opera. True story. Seriously, that's it? Yes, she went to the opera one time just to see if she still hated it, and she did. She determined that leaving out the front door would take about 3 more seconds than just turning the soprano into a pen. Guess which one she chose. Where is the Diva pen can value themselves above all else? Can the needs of one outweigh the many? Farmer pen? Gardener. The seamstress came across one of the gardeners standing in the middle of a wild field. He spoke then, saying, "My people once fought upon this very ground, brother against brother, father against son, all fighting for the right to tame the earth and hoe and plant their heart's desire. In the end, it was their blood that nourished this very soil." "That's pretty dumb," the seamstress said. "Oh yeah," the gardener spat, wetting the earth. "Basically," said she, and balled her fist, and when she opened it, a pin stood on her palm. Those who take up the pen of the gardener become peerless masters of the hoe-based combat, able to nick their opponent's shifts and cause extensive bleeding. But it's their ability to sow mystic gardens that is their true gift. These gardens bestow a number of advantages, but be warned, only one garden can exist at a time. The statue doesn't say anything. Neither does the ninja. Statue of a Masochist. The Masochist fought mightily against the seamstress, but it was no avail. The Masochist's attacks were mighty, but they came at a cost, the mortification of his own life force. The seamstress simply dodged each attack, and the Masochist defeated himself. The whole thing was pretty sad. He used the Masochist pen, gained great strength at a terrible risk. You wield it at your own peril. Well, yeah, you are attacking and hurts you. Alright, I believe that's all the pins, so I think if I'm thinking about making this its own video. do, that's it for this video. I'll see you next time. And if I don't, then I'm just going to head right back to the detective agency. But I'm thinking of making this its own short video where I go around looking at all the statues. My voice is getting hoarse.